Welcome to a new compilation of 101 random facts that will blow your mind. Sit down, relax, and let's dive in. Number 1. George Washington, the first president of the United States, passed away in 1799, completely unaware that dinosaurs ever existed. The concept of dinosaurs was not introduced to science until 1842, when British paleontologist Richard Owen coined the term dinosauria to describe the massive prehistoric reptiles. Fossils had been discovered before then, but they were often mistaken for the remains of giants or mythical creatures. Washington never knew that the Earth was once ruled by these fascinating ancient beasts. Number 2. Your brain is constantly filtering out useless information to help you focus on your surroundings, which is why you don't always notice your own nose. This phenomenon, called unconscious selective attention, helps prevent sensory overload by removing static details from perception. Your nose is always in your field of vision, but because it's not typically necessary for survival or immediate action, your brain automatically edits it out. However, once you think about it, you suddenly become aware of it again. Number 3. The fastest moving muscle in the human body is the orbicularis oculi, responsible for blinking and eye movement. This tiny muscle allows us to blink in as little as 1/10 of a second, protecting the eyes from debris and keeping them moist. Rapid eye movement, or REM, during sleep is also controlled by these muscles and is essential for dreaming. Without these incredibly fast muscles, our eyes would dry out and we wouldn't be able to react as quickly to visual stimuli. Number 4. King Charles VI of France, who ruled from 1380 to 1422, suffered from a bizarre psychological disorder known as glass delusion. He became convinced that his body was made of glass and could shatter if touched. He reportedly wore reinforced clothing to protect himself and avoided physical contact. This rare condition was noted in several medieval figures and may have been linked to extreme stress, schizophrenia, or other mental illnesses. Despite his power, Charles lived in constant fear of breaking. Number 5. For most of the 20th century, beer was illegal in Iceland, despite the country's deep connection to alcohol through its Viking history. The prohibition began in 1915 and lasted until March 1, 1989, when the ban was finally lifted. Even though other alcoholic beverages were legalized earlier, beer remained banned due to concerns over excessive drinking. Today, March 1st is celebrated as Beer Day in Iceland, with locals enjoying craft brews and commemorating the return of their beloved beverage. Number 6. The term honeymoon dates back to medieval Europe, when newlyweds would drink mead, a fermented honey wine, every day for the first month of their marriage. This period, known as the honey month, was believed to bring good luck and fertility to the couple. Mead was often gifted by family members and was thought to have aphrodisiac properties. The tradition eventually evolved into the modern concept of a honeymoon, where couples take a trip to celebrate their new life together. Number 7. California experiences more than 100,000 earthquakes every year, though most of them are too small to be felt. The state sits on the San Andreas Fault, a major tectonic boundary between the Pacific and North American plates. While the majority of these quakes are minor tremors, larger earthquakes, like the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, have caused massive destruction. Scientists continue to monitor seismic activity in California, as experts predict a significant quake, known as the Big One, could happen soon. Number 8. Fingernails grow approximately 3 times faster than toenails due to increased blood circulation in the fingers. The dominant hand's nails grow even faster than those on the non-dominant hand. Additionally, the rate of growth is influenced by age, diet, and temperature. Warmer conditions accelerate nail growth. Nails grow from the matrix, a tissue located beneath the cuticle, and take about 6 months to fully regenerate. Toenails receiving less blood flow take significantly longer to grow back when damaged. Number 9. It takes about 50 licks to finish just 1 scoop of ice cream, though the exact number depends on the size of the scoop, the type of ice cream, and the person licking it. A study conducted by Purdue University found that, on average, it takes around 50 to 70 licks to completely finish a standard serving. The tongue's texture and the melting rate of the ice cream play a role in this, making each bite a uniquely enjoyable experience. Number 10. Apples belong to the Rosaceae family, which includes roses, pears, cherries, peaches, and strawberries. This botanical family is known for its fragrant flowers and fruit-bearing plants. Apples share characteristics with roses, such as their delicate blossoms and the structure of their seeds. In fact, if you slice an apple in half horizontally, the core reveals a star-shaped pattern similar to that of a rose. The genetic relationship between these plants highlights the fascinating connections within the plant kingdom. Number 11. Peaches and nectarines are so closely related that they are almost genetically identical, differing by just a single gene. This tiny variation determines whether the fruit has a fuzzy skin, as in peaches, or a smooth skin, as in nectarines. Both fruits belong to the Prunus genus and share similar flavors, textures, and growing conditions. Despite their similarities, nectarines tend to have a slightly firmer texture and a more intense flavor due to their higher sugar and acidity levels. Number 12. Hawaiian pizza, the controversial combination of pineapple and ham on pizza, was actually created in Canada, not Hawaii. Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant living in Ontario, first put pineapple on pizza in 1962. Inspired by Chinese sweet and sour dishes, he experimented with adding canned pineapple to traditional tomato-based pizza. The result became popular across North America, despite ongoing debates about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Today, Hawaiian pizza remains one of the most polarizing yet beloved pizza toppings in the world. Number 13. It takes between 2 and 3 years for a single pineapple to grow to full size, making it one of the slowest growing fruits in commercial agriculture. Pineapples are bromeliads and grow from the center of a leafy plant, requiring warm tropical conditions to develop. The fruit forms from hundreds of tiny flowers that fuse together over time. Because of this long growth period, pineapples are considered a labor-intensive crop, contributing to their relatively high price compared to other fruits. Number 14. Cashews don't grow like most other nuts. Instead, they develop on the outside of a cashew apple, a tropical fruit native to Brazil. The nut itself grows in a hard shell attached to the bottom of the apple, which contains a toxic resin called urushiol, also found in poison ivy. Because of this, cashews must be carefully processed to remove the toxic shell before being sold. Meanwhile, the cashew apple is edible and enjoyed in some cultures, particularly in South America. Number 15. The earliest known menu dates back to the mid-1700s in Europe, when fine dining establishments began offering written lists of available dishes. Before that, meals were often served in a fixed style, with guests eating whatever was prepared. Menus became popular among the wealthy elite, who wanted more control over their dining choices. By the 19th century, restaurants worldwide had adopted the practice, making menus an essential part of dining culture. Today, they range from simple paper lists to digital screens. Number 16. Strawberries are the only fruit that have their seeds on the outside, with an average of about 200 seeds per berry. Unlike other fruits which develop from the plant's ovary, strawberries grow from the flower's receptacle, giving them their unique seed placement. Each seed is actually a tiny, separate fruit containing its own seed inside. This botanical distinction sets strawberries apart from other berries, as true berries, like blueberries and grapes, have their seeds enclosed within the fruit. Number 17. According to data from the New York Times, people who are over 7 feet tall have a 16% chance of playing in the NBA. This statistic highlights the advantage extreme height provides in professional basketball, where height can significantly impact performance. While being tall alone does not guarantee success, the odds of a 7-footer making it to the NBA are much higher than for the average person. Players like Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming exemplify how height plays a crucial role. Number 18. It costs the U.S. Mint nearly twice as much to produce pennies and nickels than their actual face value, leading to significant financial losses. In 2013 alone, taxpayers lost over $100 million due to the production of these coins. The cost comes from the materials, copper, zinc, and nickel, as well as manufacturing and distribution expenses. Despite debates about eliminating the penny, it remains in circulation due to tradition and public resistance to rounding transactions to the nearest 5 cents. Number 19. Light doesn't always travel at the speed of light. Its velocity can change depending on the medium it moves through. While it travels at nearly 186,000 miles per second in a vacuum, the slowest recorded speed of light was just 38 miles per hour. This was achieved in a laboratory when scientists passed light through an ultra-cold state of matter called a Bose-Einstein condensate. These findings challenge common assumptions about light's behavior and have implications for fields like quantum mechanics and optics. Number 20. Some fruit flies are genetically resistant to getting drunk, but only if they have an inactive version of a gene scientists have humorously named happy hour. This gene influences how alcohol affects their nervous system, making them less likely to experience intoxication. Researchers study these flies to understand alcohol tolerance and addiction in humans. Since fruit flies share many genetic similarities with humans, these findings could contribute to treatments for alcohol dependence and further our understanding of how the brain processes alcohol. Number 21. Sloths can die of starvation even with a full stomach due to the delicate balance of their gut bacteria. Their digestion relies on specific microbes that help break down leaves, their primary food source. However, these bacteria are extremely temperature sensitive. If the ambient temperature drops too much, below about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, these microbes can die, leaving the sloth unable to properly digest its food. Because sloths have a slow metabolism and poor thermoregulation, they can suffer fatal consequences from environmental changes. Number 22. Experiments have shown that male rhesus macaque monkeys will actually pay to look at pictures of female rhesus macaques' bottoms. In a study conducted by researchers, monkeys were given a choice to exchange food for images of dominant males or female rear ends. The males consistently gave up their food to see the female monkeys, suggesting that visual interest in potential mates is deeply ingrained in primates, including humans. This experiment sheds light on the evolutionary basis of attraction. Number 23. In 1567, Hans Steininger, a man famous for having the longest beard in the world, died in a tragic and ironic accident. His beard, which measured over 4 feet long, caused his downfall when he tripped over it while trying to flee from a fire. He fell, broke his neck, and died instantly. After his death, his beard was preserved and is now displayed in a museum in Austria. His bizarre demise remains one of the strangest historical deaths ever recorded. Number 24. The dance plague of 1518 was a mysterious event in which hundreds of people in Strasbourg, France, danced uncontrollably for weeks. It began with a single woman who started dancing frantically in the streets. Within days, dozens more joined, and the number soon grew into the hundreds. Some dancers collapsed from exhaustion, while others reportedly danced themselves to death. Historians believe this bizarre phenomenon may have been caused by mass hysteria, ergot poisoning, or a psychological response to extreme stress. Number 25. Vladimir Nabokov, the famous Russian-American author of Lolita, nearly invented the modern smiley face. In a 1969 interview, he suggested that a typographic symbol should exist to represent a smiling face, something like a parenthesis turned sideways. While he wasn't the first person to think of using punctuation to convey emotion, his idea foreshadowed the emoticons and emojis we use today. Had his suggestion gained traction at the time, he might have been credited with inventing digital smileys. Number 26. In 1993, San Francisco held a referendum on whether a police officer named Bob Geary could patrol while carrying a ventriloquist's dummy named Brendan O'Smarty. Geary, a beloved figure in the city, used the dummy to engage with the community and de-escalate tense situations. The proposal was put to a public vote, and surprisingly, the citizens of San Francisco voted in favor. As a result, Geary was officially allowed to patrol the streets with his wooden partner in tow. Number 27. Sigurd the Mighty, a 9th century Norse Earl of Orkney, met a bizarre and ironic end at the hands of an enemy he had already defeated. After a victorious battle, he tied his opponent's severed head to his horse's saddle as a gruesome trophy. However, as he rode home, the head's teeth scraped against his leg, causing a wound that became infected. Despite being a fearsome Viking warrior, he ultimately died from the resulting infection, proving that even the mighty are not invincible. Number 28. The Dutch village of Giethoorn is unique because it has no roads. Its buildings are connected entirely by canals and footbridges. Often called the Venice of the Netherlands, this picturesque town allows residents and visitors to travel by boat, giving it a peaceful and scenic charm. Established in the 13th century, Giethoorn's waterways were originally created by peat diggers. Today, it remains a car-free zone, attracting tourists who want to experience its fairy tale-like setting in the heart of the Netherlands. Number 29. Wasps play an essential role in the life cycle of figs, but the process is not for the faint of heart. Female wasps crawl inside fig flowers to lay their eggs, often becoming trapped and dying inside. The fig then absorbs the wasp's body, breaking it down with an enzyme before developing into fruit. If the wasp successfully lays eggs, baby wasps hatch inside the fig and escape. Fortunately, by the time we eat figs, all wasp remnants have been dissolved. Number 30. In honeybee colonies, male bees, called drones, are expelled from the hive when winter arrives. Since drones serve only one purpose, mating with the queen, they become useless during colder months. The female worker bees, responsible for maintaining the hive, kick the drones out to conserve resources. Unable to survive on their own, the drones soon die. This survival strategy ensures that the hive doesn't waste food on members that don't contribute to its survival. Come spring, new drones will be produced. Number 31. Anglerfish mating is one of the strangest biological processes in the animal kingdom. When a tiny male anglerfish finds a female, he bites onto her abdomen and fuses with her body. Over time, his organs dissolve, leaving only his testes attached to the female's circulatory system. This allows the female to use his sperm whenever she is ready to reproduce. Some females have multiple males fused to them at once, ensuring a steady supply of reproductive material whenever necessary. Number 32. A surprising 51% of people mistakenly believe that stormy weather can impact cloud computing, despite the term having nothing to do with actual clouds in the sky. Cloud computing refers to data storage and processing on remote servers, but the confusion likely arises from the word cloud. While weather can sometimes affect internet connections by damaging infrastructure, the data itself remains unaffected by storms. This misconception highlights how language can shape our understanding of modern technology. Number 33. The idea that different parts of the tongue are responsible for tasting different flavors, such as sweet at the tip and bitter at the back, is actually a myth. The tongue map theory originated from a mistranslation of a German study in the early 1900s. In reality, all taste buds can detect all 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. However, certain areas of the tongue may be slightly more sensitive to specific tastes, but not exclusively. Number 34. Despite sharing identical DNA, twins do not have the same fingerprints. This is because fingerprints are influenced by environmental factors in the womb, such as pressure, movement, and amniotic fluid flow. While their genetic makeup is the same, these small developmental differences result in unique fingerprint patterns. Even though identical twins may look exactly alike, their fingerprints serve as a key way to distinguish them, which is why forensic science relies on fingerprint analysis rather than DNA alone. Number 35. During early human embryonic development, the zygote undergoes multiple cell divisions until it forms a tiny, hollow ball of cells called a blastula. As development continues, an indentation forms, creating a primitive digestive tract. Interestingly, the first opening that develops eventually becomes the anus. This process, known as gastrulation, occurs in all vertebrates, including humans. It means that, biologically speaking, humans start their existence as a simple tube with a single entrance that later develops into the full digestive system. Number 36. A common misconception is that the AR in AR-15 stands for assault rifle, but it actually stands for Armalite rifle, named after the company that originally designed it in the 1950s. The AR-15 is a lightweight, air-cooled, gas-operated firearm that has become one of the most well-known rifles in the world. Despite its civilian use, its military variants, such as the M16 and M4, have contributed to the association between AR-15s and automatic weapons, though the civilian model is semi-automatic. Number 37. The United States has not minted any new Purple Heart medals since World War II. In anticipation of a ground invasion of Japan, The U.S. military produced a massive stockpile of these metals, expecting heavy casualties. However, with the war ending after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these extra metals were stored for future use. Decades later, this supply is still being distributed to wounded service members, making these metals a direct link to World War II history. Number 38. A honeybee can fly up to 15 miles per hour while searching for nectar. This speed allows worker bees to cover large areas efficiently, ensuring the colony has enough food. Despite their small size, honeybees are incredibly strong flyers, capable of navigating long distances and returning to their hive with precision. They communicate the location of food sources to other bees through a waggle dance, an intricate movement pattern that conveys directions based on the position of the sun. Number 39. A single honeybee worker produces only about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her entire lifetime. Since worker bees live for just a few weeks, they must work tirelessly to collect nectar, which they transform into honey through a process of regurgitation and evaporation. A hive must contain thousands of bees working together to produce enough honey to sustain the colony through winter. This incredible efficiency makes honey one of nature's most remarkable and labor-intensive foods. Number 40. 1 ounce of honey contains enough energy to fuel a bee's flight around the world. Honey is packed with simple sugars like glucose and fructose, which provide an immediate energy boost. While a single bee would never make such a journey, the collective work of a hive allows for large amounts of honey to be stored. This energy-rich substance has made honey a valuable food source for humans for thousands of years, used for both nutrition and medicine. Number 41. To make 1 pound of honey, bees must visit approximately 2 million flowers. In the process, they fly a combined total of 55,000 miles, more than twice the circumference of Earth. This effort highlights the incredible work ethic of honeybees, as each tiny bee contributes just a fraction of a drop. Bees play a crucial role in pollination, ensuring the survival of countless plant species while also producing honey, one of the most remarkable natural products. Number 42. A single honeybee visits between 50 and 100 flowers in a single foraging trip. The time spent collecting nectar depends on factors such as flower availability and weather conditions. After filling her honey stomach, the bee returns to the hive to pass the nectar to other workers, who transform it into honey. This constant cycle of collection and production is essential for the colony's survival, ensuring that enough food is stored to sustain the hive through the colder months. Number 43. Honeycomb is structured in a perfect hexagonal shape, a design that maximizes space efficiency and strength, while using the least amount of wax. The walls of each hexagonal cell are only 0.02 of an inch thick, but can support up to 25 times their own weight. This natural engineering marvel allows bees to store honey, pollen, and developing larvae while maintaining the structural integrity of the hive. The hexagonal pattern has even inspired human engineering and architecture due to its efficiency. Number 44. Honeybees beat their wings approximately 11,400 times per minute, creating the buzzing sound we associate with them. This rapid wing movement allows bees to hover, maneuver, and generate lift efficiently. Their wings operate in a figure-8 motion, maximizing aerodynamics. Even when resting, bees may continue to vibrate their wings to regulate hive temperature or communicate with other bees. This constant movement is essential to their survival, helping them pollinate flowers and produce honey. Number 45. Unlike humans and most animals, honeybees never sleep. Instead of sleeping, they enter brief periods of rest where their activity slows, but they remain semi-alert. This allows them to work almost continuously, ensuring the hive remains functional. Worker bees spend their entire lives collecting nectar, building the hive, and tending to larvae. Even during the night, they remain active inside the hive, preparing honey and maintaining hive temperature. This relentless work ethic is crucial for the colony's survival. Number 46. An average beehive contains between 50,000 and 60,000 worker bees, all of which are female. These workers are responsible for foraging, building the hive, tending to the queen, and caring for the larvae. The queen bee is the only fertile female in the colony, while the male bees, known as drones, exist solely for mating. During winter, the hive population decreases as fewer worker bees are needed, but in spring and summer, the hive reaches peak population levels. Number 47. The honeybee is the only insect that produces food specifically for human consumption. Honey has been harvested for thousands of years, with evidence of beekeeping dating back to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Unlike other insects that produce substances primarily for their own survival, honeybees store excess honey, allowing humans to collect and use it. This natural sweetener contains antibacterial properties, making it not only a delicious food source, but also a valuable remedy for treating wounds and infections. Number 48. Honey has an incredibly long shelf life. Archaeologists discovered a pot of honey in King Tutankhamun's tomb that was over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. This longevity is due to honey's low moisture content, high acidity, and natural antibacterial properties, which prevent bacteria and mold from growing. If stored properly in a sealed container, honey never spoils. This makes it one of the most durable food sources known to humanity, surviving centuries without refrigeration or preservatives. Number 49. Honey is packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, making it a nutritious superfood. It contains small amounts of vitamin C, calcium, iron, and magnesium, along with flavonoids and phenolic acids that help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the body. Honey has been used in traditional medicine for centuries to treat wounds, coughs, and digestive issues. While it is high in natural sugars, its health benefits make it a preferred alternative to refined sugar in many diets. Number 50. Eating honey is a natural way to boost energy due to its combination of glucose and fructose. Unlike processed sugars, which cause energy crashes, honey provides a steady release of fuel for the body. Studies have shown that honey is particularly effective in preventing fatigue and enhancing athletic performance. Ancient Olympians in Greece consumed honey before competitions for this very reason. Today, athletes and fitness enthusiasts still use honey as a quick, natural source of energy during workouts. Number 51. Honey has powerful antimicrobial properties and has been used as a natural wound treatment for centuries. It contains hydrogen peroxide and other antibacterial compounds that help prevent infections and promote healing. In modern medicine, honey-infused dressings are used to treat burns, cuts, and ulcers. Research has shown that honey can speed up the healing process, reduce inflammation, and even fight antibiotic-resistant bacteria. This ancient remedy continues to be an effective and scientifically supported treatment for minor wounds. Number 52. San Marino, a small country in Europe, is the world's oldest recorded republic, having been established in 301 AD. This tiny, landlocked nation, surrounded by Italy, was founded by a Christian stonemason named Marinus, who fled religious persecution. Over the centuries, San Marino has maintained its independence despite wars and political upheavals in Europe. Today, it remains one of the wealthiest countries per capita, known for its historic architecture, scenic landscapes, and unique political system that has survived for over 17 centuries. Number 53. The hill with the longest place name in the world is Taumatauhakatangihanga Koawawo Tamatiat, Uripukakapiki Maunga Horonukupokai Wenu Akitanatahu in New Zealand. Its Maori name translates to the place where Tamatia, the man with the big knees, who slid, climbed, and swallowed mountains, played his flute to his loved one. The hill is located in the Hawke's Bay region and holds the Guinness World Record for the longest official place name. Locals often shorten it to Taumata to make it easier to pronounce. Number 54. France's longest land border is not in Europe, but in South America, where it shares a 453-mile border with Brazil. This surprising fact is due to the French overseas territory of French Guiana, which is located on the northeastern coast of South America. Despite being thousands of miles from mainland France, French Guiana is officially part of France and the European Union. This means that Brazil and the European Union technically share a land border through this South American connection. Number 55. Venus is the only planet in the solar system that rotates clockwise, a phenomenon known as retrograde rotation. Most planets, including Earth, rotate counterclockwise when viewed from above their north poles. Scientists believe Venus's unusual rotation may have been caused by a massive collision with an asteroid or another celestial body early in its formation. As a result, Venus has an extremely slow rotation. taking 243 Earth days to complete one full spin, making its day longer than its year. Number 56. There are 4 cities in the world where dying is technically forbidden: Longyearbyen in Norway, Itsukushima in Japan, Falciano del Masico in Italy, and Sarpurin in France. These bans exist due to local burial restrictions. In Longyearbyen, the permafrost prevents bodies from decomposing, while in Sarpurinsk, the cemetery is full, and residents were instructed not to die unless they had pre-arranged burial plans. While the laws are symbolic and unenforceable, they highlight the challenges of burial space in certain regions. Number 57. The most commonly forgotten items in hotel rooms include chargers, dirty laundry, and beauty products. Hotel staff frequently find phone chargers left plugged into walls, as well as socks and underwear tucked under beds. More unusual forgotten items include dentures, wigs, and even wedding dresses. Luxury hotels sometimes have dedicated lost and found departments to store and return forgotten belongings. While some hotels hold items for a short period, others donate or discard unclaimed belongings after a few months. Number 58. Every year, an estimated 25 million suitcases are lost at airports worldwide. While most luggage is recovered within a few days, around 5% of lost bags are never reunited with their owners. Airlines have extensive tracking systems to locate missing luggage, but delays, misrouting, and human error still occur. Some unclaimed luggage is sent to auction, with buyers purchasing suitcases full of mystery items. To prevent loss, travelers are encouraged to use tracking devices and label their bags clearly. Number 59. After the world's longest commercial flight, a grueling 18-hour journey from New York to Singapore, passengers often experience immense relief when their luggage arrives. This direct flight covers over 9,000 miles and crosses multiple time zones. Despite the length, modern aircraft, like the Airbus A350-900ULR, are designed for comfort, offering improved cabin pressure and humidity to reduce jet lag. Travelers on these ultra-long-haul flights often stretch, hydrate, and sleep strategically to minimize the effects of extended air travel. Number 60. The Pyramid of Chichen Itza in Mexico features exactly 365 steps, one for each day of the year. This famous Mayan pyramid, also known as El Castillo, was built as a massive astronomical calendar. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, sunlight creates an illusion of a serpent slithering down the pyramid staircase, representing the Mayan feathered serpent god, Kukulkan. The structure's precise design reflects the advanced mathematical and astronomical knowledge of the Mayan civilization, which thrived over 1,000 years ago. Number 61. Enclaves are cities or regions of one country that are entirely surrounded by another country, creating unique geopolitical boundaries. One such example is Livia, a Spanish town completely enclosed by France. Despite being part of Spain, Livia is separated from the mainland due to historical treaties. Residents of the town must cross into France before re-entering Spain. Other famous enclaves include Vatican City within Italy and Lesotho, a country entirely surrounded by South Africa, making them fascinating geographical anomalies. Number 62. Spain's national anthem, Marcha Real, is one of the few national anthems in the world that has no official lyrics. Unlike most national anthems, which include patriotic verses, Marcha Real is purely instrumental. While unofficial lyrics have been proposed throughout history, none have been formally adopted. Spain shares this distinction with Kosovo, San Marino, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, whose anthems also lack lyrics. Despite its wordless nature, the anthem remains a symbol of Spanish national pride and unity. Number 63. According to the 2024 Gay Travel Index, Canada is ranked as the most LGBTQ+ friendly travel destination in the world. The ranking is based on legal protections, anti-discrimination laws, and societal acceptance. Other highly ranked countries include Malta, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain. Canada's progressive policies and inclusive culture make it a top destination for LGBTQ+ travelers. Pride events, safe accommodations, and legal rights for same-sex couples contribute to its reputation as a welcoming and diverse travel location. Number 64. The word tourism originated in the late 18th century and was associated with British travelers exploring Europe. During the Grand Tour era, wealthy young men from Britain would travel across France, Italy, and other European countries as part of their education. The term evolved as more people began traveling for leisure rather than necessity. With the rise of railways and modern transportation, tourism became accessible to the middle class, transforming it into a global industry that continues to grow today. Number 65. Despite being known for its scorching heat, the Sahara Desert occasionally experiences snowfall. While rare, snowstorms have been recorded in the desert, particularly in the Atlas Mountains of Algeria. In 2018, the Sahara saw up to 15 inches of snow, creating a surreal landscape of orange dunes dusted with white. These snowfalls occur when cold air from Europe moves south and interacts with the desert's dry conditions. Though brief, these moments highlight the surprising climatic diversity of Earth's largest hot desert. Number 66. If you're planning a vegan-friendly vacation, Varanasi, India, is a unique destination where consuming meat is prohibited by law. As one of the holiest cities in Hinduism, Varanasi is considered sacred, and many of its residents follow a strict vegetarian diet. The city has numerous vegetarian restaurants and street food vendors, offering plant-based dishes rich in Indian flavors. While some international food chains exist, they adapt their menus to comply with local dietary customs, preserving the city's cultural traditions. Number 67. Europe's only underwater museum, Museo Atlantico, is located off the coast of Lanzarote in Spain's Canary Islands. Created by artist Jason de Cayeres Taylor, this underwater gallery features over 300 life-size sculptures submerged at depths of around 40 feet. The museum serves as an artificial reef, encouraging marine life to thrive while offering divers and snorkelers an extraordinary artistic experience. The sculptures are designed to highlight environmental concerns and human relationships with nature, making it both a visual and ecological masterpiece. Number 68. The board game Monopoly was originally created by Lizzie Magie in 1903 as a critique of capitalism. Called the Landlord's Game, it was designed to illustrate the dangers of monopolies and economic inequality. However, Charles Darrow later adapted and patented the game in 1935, removing its anti-capitalist message. The game became a global success under Parker Brothers, but Magie received little credit for her original invention. Despite this, her work remains an early example of games being used for political commentary. Number 69. The world's most expensive restaurant, Sublimotion, is located in Ibiza, Spain, and offers an immersive dining experience that costs around $2,000 per person. This high-tech restaurant combines gourmet food with virtual reality, interactive performances, and futuristic table settings. Created by Michelin-starred chef Paco Roncero, the experience includes over 20 courses, each presented with theatrical precision. The restaurant accommodates only 12 guests per night, making it one of the most exclusive and sought-after dining experiences in the world. Number 70. The average person's social circle consists of about 150 people, a number known as Dunbar's number. British anthropologist Robin Dunbar theorized that humans can only maintain meaningful relationships with a limited number of individuals due to cognitive constraints. This applies to friendships, acquaintances, and family connections. Social media platforms may give the illusion of larger networks, but studies show that people still tend to engage closely with only a small fraction of their total online connections. Number 71. A staggering 80% of the things we worry about never actually happen. Psychological research shows that humans have a natural tendency to overestimate risks and negative outcomes, leading to unnecessary stress. In a study on worry patterns, participants were asked to track their concerns over time, and researchers found that the vast majority of predicted problems never materialized. This insight has inspired mindfulness and cognitive therapy techniques that encourage people to focus on present realities rather than hypothetical fears. Number 72. Your heartbeat naturally syncs with the rhythm of the music you're listening to. This phenomenon, known as entrainment, occurs because our brain responds to auditory stimuli in a way that influences bodily functions. Faster tempos can increase heart rate, while slower, calming music can lower it, helping reduce stress and anxiety. This effect is why music therapy is used in healthcare settings to regulate blood pressure, alleviate pain, and even assist in recovery for patients with cardiovascular conditions. Number 73. The pratfall effect suggests that people who make small mistakes are often perceived as more attractive and likable. This psychological phenomenon occurs because humans find imperfection relatable, making individuals seem more genuine. Studies have shown that highly competent people who make occasional blunders, such as spilling coffee or tripping, become more endearing to others. This effect explains why celebrities and public figures who show vulnerability or humor about their mistakes tend to have stronger fan followings. Number 74. Sierra Nevada, located in Spain, is home to Europe's highest ski resort at an altitude of approximately 10,800 feet, 3,300 meters. This mountain range offers some of the longest ski seasons in Europe, with snow lasting from November to May. Its southern location near the Mediterranean coast allows skiers to enjoy warm sunshine while gliding down snowy slopes. On clear days, visitors can even see the coastline of Africa from the mountain peaks. Number 75. Sylvia Plath, the famous poet and novelist, once vacationed in Benidorm, Spain, a popular tourist destination known for its beaches and nightlife. Meanwhile, John Lennon was arrested in Majorca, another Spanish island, in the 1960s after a run-in with local authorities. These surprising connections between literary and musical icons and Spanish destinations highlight the country's enduring appeal. Many artists, writers, and musicians have found inspiration in Spain's landscapes, culture, and vibrant atmosphere throughout history. Number 76. Nutmeg, a common spice used in baking and cooking, has hallucinogenic properties when consumed in large quantities. This is due to a compound called myristicin, which affects the central nervous system. Ingesting high doses can cause dizziness, nausea, dry mouth, paranoia, and hallucinations, with effects lasting up to 24 hours. Historically, nutmeg was used as a cheap hallucinogen, but its side effects can be extremely unpleasant. While safe in small culinary amounts, excessive consumption can lead to nutmeg poisoning. Number 77. A single cloud can weigh about 1,000,000 tons, despite appearing weightless as it floats in the sky. Clouds are made up of tiny water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere, and their combined mass can be enormous. However, because they are spread out over a vast area and held up by rising air currents, they don't fall all at once. This fascinating balance of weight and buoyancy allows clouds to drift gracefully through the sky. Number 78. Just one drop of oil can contaminate 25 liters of water, highlighting how fragile aquatic ecosystems are. Oil spreads rapidly across water surfaces, forming a thin film that blocks oxygen exchange and harms marine life. Even small spills can have devastating effects on fish, birds, and plants. Because oil is difficult to clean up, preventing spills is crucial for environmental conservation. This fact serves as a reminder of how human activities can significantly impact natural water sources. Number 79. Plants communicate with each other through chemical and electrical signals. When a plant is damaged, it releases volatile compounds that nearby plants can detect, triggering defensive responses. Some plants even emit electrical impulses similar to nerve signals in animals. For example, when a tomato plant is attacked by insects, it sends out warning chemicals, prompting neighboring plants to produce protective compounds. This hidden network of plant communication plays a crucial role in survival, defense, and ecological balance. Number 80. Posidonia oceanica, a type of seagrass found in the Mediterranean Sea, is the world's largest known living organism. A single patch can stretch up to 5 miles, 8 kilometers long, and may be more than 100,000 years old. This ancient seagrass produces oxygen, stabilizes the seafloor, and provides habitat for marine life. Often called the lungs of the Mediterranean, it plays a vital role in maintaining ocean health. However, climate change and pollution threaten its survival. Number 81. 1 in 10 plants grows on another plant, a type of growth known as epiphytism. These plants, called epiphytes, do not take nutrients from their hosts, but instead absorb moisture and nutrients from the air and rain. Common examples include orchids, ferns, and bromeliads, which thrive in tropical rainforests. By growing on trees, epiphytes can reach more sunlight while avoiding competition on the forest floor. This remarkable adaptation allows them to survive in diverse and challenging environments. Number 82. Mayonnaise was invented in Spain, not France, as many believe. The sauce is thought to have originated in the 18th century in the Spanish city of Mahon, on the island of Minorca. It was later introduced to France, where it became widely popular and was refined into the version we know today. The name mayonnaise is likely derived from Mahon, reflecting its Spanish roots. Over time, it has become a staple condiment worldwide, used in countless dishes and recipes. Number 83. Times Square in New York City was originally known as Longacre Square, before being renamed in 1904. The name change occurred when the New York Times moved its headquarters to the area and successfully lobbied for the name to reflect its presence. Over the years, Times Square evolved into a bustling entertainment district, famous for its bright billboards, Broadway theaters, and the annual New Year's Eve ball drop. Today, it is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the world. Number 84. Strawberries are unique among fruits because they have their seeds on the outside rather than inside. Each strawberry has about 200 tiny seeds, which are actually individual fruits called achenes, each containing a single seed. Unlike other berries, which develop from the ovary of a flower, strawberries form from the receptacle, a part of the flower that holds the ovary. This botanical distinction means that, scientifically speaking, strawberries are not true berries, despite being widely considered one. Number 85. There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth. Astronomers estimate that the observable universe contains around a septillion stars. That's a 1 followed by 24 zeros. In comparison, Earth's beaches and deserts contain only about 7 quintillion grains of sand. The vastness of the universe is nearly incomprehensible, with each star potentially hosting its own planets. This comparison highlights the staggering scale of the cosmos and the endless possibilities beyond our planet. Number 86. J.K. Rowling's original Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers before being accepted by Bloomsbury. Despite initial skepticism, the series went on to become one of the best-selling book franchises in history, with over 500 million copies sold worldwide. The rejection letters Rowling received are now seen as a reminder that persistence and resilience are key to success. Today, Harry Potter remains a cultural phenomenon, inspiring movies, theme parks, and a devoted global fan base. Number 87. Kangaroos are physically unable to walk backward due to the structure of their legs and tails. Their powerful hind legs are designed for jumping, and their large muscular tail provides balance and support. Unlike other animals, kangaroos rely on forward movement to escape predators, covering vast distances quickly. Because of this unique anatomy, kangaroos have become a symbol of progress in Australian culture, appearing on the country's coat of arms to represent continuous movement forward. Number 88. There are over 11,000 known species of grass worldwide, making grasses one of the most diverse and widespread plant families on Earth. Grasses are essential to ecosystems, providing food for herbivores, preventing soil erosion, and supporting agriculture. Crops such as wheat, rice, and corn are all types of grass, forming the backbone of human diets. Grasses also play a crucial role in air purification and carbon absorption, making them vital to environmental stability and global food production. Number 89. Ant queens can live for up to 30 years, making them some of the longest-lived insects in the world. Unlike worker ants, which may only live a few weeks or months, queens are responsible for laying eggs and sustaining the colony. Some ant species rely on a single queen, while others may have multiple queens within a colony. The longevity of ant queens allows their colonies to survive for decades, continuously producing new generations of workers and soldiers. Number 90. Crocodiles are unable to stick out their tongues due to a membrane that keeps them in place. This adaptation prevents water from entering their throats when they are submerged, allowing them to remain underwater for extended periods. Unlike alligators, which can move their tongues slightly, crocodiles have their tongues firmly attached to the bottom of their mouths. This feature helps them hunt efficiently by ensuring that their tongues don't interfere when snapping their powerful jaws shut on prey. Number 91. Venus is the only planet in the solar system that spins clockwise, a motion known as retrograde rotation. Unlike Earth and most other planets, which rotate counterclockwise, Venus takes 243 Earth days to complete one full rotation. Scientists believe this unusual rotation may have resulted from a massive collision with another celestial body early in Venus's formation. This slow and backward spin contributes to Venus's extreme climate, where surface temperatures exceed 900 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the hottest planet in the solar system. Number 92. An ostrich's eyes are larger than its brain, making it one of the most visually focused animals in the world. Each eye measures about 2 inches in diameter, allowing ostriches to spot predators from long distances. Their excellent eyesight compensates for their relatively small brains, which prioritize instinctual behaviors like running at high speeds to escape danger. Despite their small brain size, ostriches are highly adaptable birds capable of surviving in harsh environments and reaching speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. Number 93. Lettuce, a common salad ingredient, belongs to the sunflower family, Asteraceae. This botanical group includes other edible plants like artichokes and chicory, as well as ornamental flowers such as daisies and marigolds. Lettuce was first cultivated over 4,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, where it was considered a sacred plant associated with the god Min. Over time, it spread across Europe and Asia, evolving into the many varieties we eat today, from crisp romaine to delicate butterhead lettuce. Number 94. Some land snails can sleep for up to 3 years if environmental conditions are unfavorable. This process, called estivation, allows snails to survive extreme droughts by sealing themselves inside their shells with a layer of mucus to retain moisture. Unlike hibernation, which occurs in cold weather, estivation helps snails survive long periods of heat and dryness. When conditions improve, the snail wakes up and resumes its normal activity, continuing its slow-paced journey through the world. Number 95. Zebras have only 1 toe on each foot, an evolutionary adaptation that enhances their speed and agility. Like horses, zebras are perissodactyls, meaning they belong to a group of hoofed animals with an odd number of toes. Over millions of years, their ancestors' extra toes fused or disappeared, leaving them with a single, sturdy hoof. This design allows zebras to run quickly from predators and endure long distances on rough terrain, making them well-suited to life on the African savanna. Number 96. Your nose doesn't grow like Pinocchio's when you lie, but it can actually feel warmer. This is due to the Pinocchio effect, a real phenomenon discovered in a study using thermal imaging. When a person tells a lie, their brain works harder, increasing blood flow to certain areas, including the nose. This slight temperature increase isn't visible to the naked eye, but sensitive heat-detecting cameras can pick it up. This finding has been explored as a possible method of lie detection. Number 97. Each star in the universe emits a different color, determined by its temperature. Cooler stars, like red dwarfs, glow with a reddish hue, while hotter stars, like blue giants, shine with an intense blue light. The color spectrum follows the same principles as heated metal. Red is cooler, blue is hotter. Our sun, a yellow dwarf star, emits a mix of colors that appear white to our eyes. Studying a star's color helps astronomers determine its temperature, age, and composition. Number 98. On Mars, sunsets appear blue instead of the reddish-orange we see on Earth. This unusual effect occurs because the Martian atmosphere is filled with fine dust particles that scatter light differently than Earth's atmosphere does. Blue light is scattered less and remains more visible near the sun, creating a cool-toned twilight. In contrast, during the daytime, the Martian sky appears dusty red because the fine particles reflect red light more efficiently than blue. This makes Mars's sky the reverse of Earth's. Number 99. Giant sequoia trees in California can grow as tall as a 26-story building, reaching heights of over 300 feet. Some of these trees, such as General Sherman, are estimated to be over 2,000 years old, making them among the oldest living organisms on Earth. Their thick bark, which can be up to 3 feet thick, helps protect them from wildfires. Despite their immense size, sequoias have shallow root systems, relying on a wide network of roots rather than deep anchoring. Number 100. A NASA spacesuit costs approximately $12 million to make. Most of this cost comes from the suit's life support systems, which regulate temperature, oxygen, and pressure. Modern spacesuits are designed to protect astronauts from extreme temperatures, radiation, and micrometeoroid impacts in space. Despite their cost, NASA has been using the same basic suit design since the Apollo missions, modifying it over time. The next generation of spacesuits, developed for lunar and Mars missions, will feature advanced mobility and improved durability. Number 101. Uranus is the only planet in the solar system that spins on its side. Unlike other planets, which rotate upright or at a slight tilt, Uranus is tilted at an extreme angle of 98 degrees. This means it essentially rolls around the sun rather than spinning like a top. Scientists believe a massive collision with a protoplanet early in its formation caused this unusual tilt. As a result, Uranus experiences extreme seasons.